plan is to get this video up on New Year's Day, so just want to wish all of you guys just a happy New Year, and really honestly just say thank you to you guys. If you guys support us or me in any way possible, I just want to say thank you. You guys know that watching the videos, liking the videos, supporting us on Wrenchworks, all the giveaway stuff, I can't say thank you enough. I never really give myself enough time to slow down, to look back at the entire year, to kind of see everything that's happened, all we've accomplished, and it's truly insane. And I just want to really just go chase your dreams. You guys can do anything that you want to do and get it done. You just have to start believing in yourself and start going after it. But again, just a huge thank you to anyone and all of you guys who support this insanely crazy journey that we're on. So can't say thank you enough. Couldn't do it without you guys. We're really gearing up for a crazy 2024. It just seems wild just to reminisce and think about all that stuff. But anyway, it's actually been a year that we have picked up the Shorty. We picked up the Shorty January 2nd of 2023, so it's been a full year. I don't know exactly how to feel about that, but it has been a journey. It has been a project with this truck, and as you can see, it has moved. But we're gonna go through this video. It's been filmed over a couple days and a lot of randomness, but a lot of progress nonetheless. So let's get into the video, but just wanted to wish all of you guys just a happy new year and strap in because 2024 is gonna be just as crazy. We're back in the shop. We're working on the Shorty. We've got some catch up to do. Let me try to explain where the truck is at because this truck does jump around quite a bit because not everything is filmed. The last thing that you guys saw on the Shorty, it wasn't even in a Shorty video. We have got this thing fired up. We temporarily plumbed a lot of stuff just to kind of make sure my wiring was good on the engine harness kind of side of things. I needed to confirm that, so we plumbed up some stuff temporarily and got some things hooked up, and the truck does fire up. Well, it used to, because now we've got some things more apart, but we confirmed that the engine wiring is good before we start kind of closing things up and wrapping things up completely. Anyway, let's go over where the truck is at very briefly. I want to get back to work. I don't want to talk about this for a long time, but we have got a lot of small, tedious things that take a lot of time buttoned up on this thing, and there's still more of that to do, and we'll get into that, but we do have a lot of stuff done. Hold on, let me turn this light on here so we can see. Last night we were in here, we're working on all the wiring up inside the cowl. This computer over here that's mounted on the firewall originally, we've got tucked up inside of this little hole now. Got that figured out. We've got all the wiring loomed going this way, and we started to run our headlight harness just to make sure we don't need to extend anything. We're gonna hide that behind that fender as well right there. We've got this stuff kind of configured and good now that I know the truck runs and operates and everything fires up and everything is good. So we're really just in the state of wrapping things up. We do have our headlight wiring on this side because again, we moved the tip 'em from right here all the way inside the cab. This wiring does need to get extended and come out through here. But where we were running into kind of like what we're getting into next is we've got our boost auto mirror lights, which also have wiring that tie into the headlight wiring for running lights and turn signals. We need to take care of that before we take care of that wiring, before we run that through here, because we want to put the front clip back on. I'm just really itching to put the front clip back on, but I don't want to just shoot myself in the foot because the fenders need to go on to do that. If we put the fenders on, we can't gain access to hide that wires. So without the fenders, we can't really mount everything in the front here. So we went ahead and we've got all of our wiring up through the front of the engine. That is completely tied off. That is completely organized, nice, neat, tidy. That is done. So I'm done working on the front of the engine, so to say, except for when we get our Flexolite fans hooked up. We will need to do some wiring, but can't do that until I just explained all that. So the other things that we have been working on and doing is just getting everything buttoned up on the side of the engine there. Again, going to be a little bit harder to do with a fender and everything in the way. Not impossible, but it's just this, it's this messy but yet organized order of operation to get everything done the easiest way possible. So some of the other things that were temporarily done to get the truck running is we've got our temporary power cable that goes from our batteries up to the tip-em, which the tip-em is now sitting right here. Hard to see, but that will get covered up. We went ahead and got our pass-throughs done from the inside and the outside of the cab. We ran into a little bit of a shortage on some ends for the battery cables, which are now in, so we can go ahead and wrap that up. But as far as all of our main hookups for the power and the grounds, that is actually all completely done. Let me see if I can get underneath here and show you guys some of that stuff. All right, so there you can kind of see that's our battery to our chassis, our battery to our frame right there. So those two are right there. We've got the power wire that's coming from there all the way to the starter. So we've got all of our main, power stuff done. Battery to chassis, battery to body, engine to chassis. Those main grounds are done. The main powers are pretty much done as well. And again, we have our new ends, so you guys can kind of see that. There's our engine to our chassis. So all of our grounds are connected with that big cable there. So that is roughly where we are at with the truck. Still a lot of the last, I would call it 10 to 15, maybe 20% left. We did get some more wiring stuff in as far as accessory wiring. Switch panel from CJC Off-Road. They actually sell Switch Pros, which is a really nice way to wire in accessories. Hopefully that explains kind of where we're at in a nutshell. We are so close on wrapping this bad boy up, and we're just gonna keep plugging away on it little by little and get this thing knocked out. And I'm just excited to get it back. I'm very excited to get this thing back. So let's just get back to work. We have got a hole in the hood, and our hood stack hole is actually finally done, so we can actually shut the hood on this thing. I haven't been able to shut the hood on this thing since we put our old turbo kit off the 05 on it, but we have made significant progress. I haven't videoed a ton of that, but I want to go over that with you because we're going to move on to really putting the front fenders on, putting our front clip on. That was really what I kind of wanted to work to next. As you can see, we have got all of our headlight wiring kind of running alongside of the outside of this crash support rail piece, framework, whatever you want to call it. So we've got some P-clamps, we've got it riveted here. It's really nice and tucked, and that will kind of just run right about right here for the headlights. You'll see a little bit of wiring where you see the headlights, but that's done, all routed up through here. Went ahead and got this all situated. Needs a little cleanup metal work around there, but that is home. Everything is loomed up in there, and we are good to go. Now I did install the wiring for our boost auto mirrors. I put our panels back on, so both doors are done as far as that goes. So really, wiring extension is all complete. This is the side that needed it the most. As you can see, I haven't quite finished all the ends, but this is loomed enough to kind of come up here, and once my headlight's in, I'll kind of get exact measurements on how far to trim those plugs back up, and the white and the black wire, that is for our fog lights. So this is run through right here. That's all done, and really that is after moving the TIPM, after doing all of that. As far as wires that need to get extended, we have the one for the starter that needed to come from this harness up through here, like I mentioned to you guys before, I believe, and then this one that came out here for this headlight. All that wiring needed to be extended, but let me shut the hood so you guys can see it. The hood will technically kind of sit just like that, how the 05 used to. So this is all, again, this is all old stuff off the 05 for the new mini me 05 build, but it should all fit the same. It's pretty much all the exact same. So hood stack hole is good. That's all done and finished up. And we're just gonna keep knocking some stuff out here. One thing I also forgot to mention is that we need to undo the mounting bolts for the subframe up here in the front, because I don't know if you guys remember a previous video, but the front cross member here, I'm not even actually sure if there was one, if it was either not there at all or completely hacked up, but I do have a new one that we're gonna put in, and the way that we have adopted of putting them in is really just loosening up these bolts. If the truck did have fenders, you need to make sure that the doors are open, and we're really just going to spread right in between right here, and we'll go ahead and slide our new cross member piece in. So I kind of need to do that because that is what these mounts bolt to and sit on. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll get to the top piece here. So it's time-lapsing all of that. I'm not sure when the camera shut off, but you guys can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. We've gone over this before, but really a piece of steel with a little angle iron on there, a spare tire jack, another little piece of angle iron on there, and then you can spread the supports out enough to slide this in without cutting them, without doing anything. You just undo those bolts, make sure if you have fenders that the doors are open so it can spread out and doesn't hit the doors, but all you gotta do is do that, and then we will loosen this back up. I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize right now because things and stuff and a ton of progress has been happening on the Shorty, and I don't think that I've really filmed it or kept up to date with you guys, and I apologize for that it might seem like this is just jumping around quite a bit because I've really just tried to focus on getting the work done so the truck can kind of get back to a running and driving state as quickly as possible. So the camera doesn't get picked up as much per se because honestly the work is kind of happening through the night, kind of late evening. So anyway, I apologize for that. Let's go over where the truck is at and get you guys up to date because we're getting very close. I want to see this truck roll out of this bay door here before the beginning of the year. So we've got like a day, 2 days maybe before the first of the year comes, and I want to see this thing rolling out. So we've got the bed back off, really mostly because of mounting the transmission cooler, which you guys can see right here. Just it's a lot easier to do with the bed off. So we pulled the bed back off and we went ahead and cut out the spare tire mount that I should have just done in the beginning. I didn't. We've got some braces welded up in there so I can bolt the trans cooler to that. Also, I apologize, I've been sick the last day. So we're getting back over that, but we're out here, we're getting it done. I don't care. This is the goal. I want to see it get done. So we're gonna go ahead and continue to mount the trans cooler, run our transmission lines as of right now. When it started before, we just had them looped together right here. So I need to kind of finish that, wire that up. We were over here working on our AirDog wiring. So it's again, I think I've mentioned it in this video, it's the last 10–20% of some of the miscellaneous wiring, stuff like that. But once we get the transmission cooler mounted, we'll be able to put the bed back on, so that will look more complete, and we'll be able to mount our taillights up. Front clip is back on, fenders on, intercooler. We got our fans wired up. The fans are completely done. You can see we've started to kind of put some miscellaneous parts and pieces back on here. It's a little dark, but we are getting there. It's just down to the details, I'm telling you. We've got our new bumper over here. We've got to clean up a Laramie support, get that painted, but we've got all of those pieces sitting right here, ready to kind of go back on. So we're cruising. Anyway, I know it's a little hard to keep up to date and kind of like run through this very methodically, like this project, this video, this project, this video. I know it's kind of like all slurred together, but we're doing the best we can with trying to get the work done. So anyway, back to work we go. Real quick look, because we are ready to put the bed back on. We've got our trans cooler fan all mounted up, and we've got our wiring all ran. You guys can see, went ahead and ran new lines to the transmission. Got those all buttoned up. Those are all secure. Basically working on securing all the wiring, all the lines throughout the whole entire truck. So transmission side is now completely done, minus some wiring that we need to do up here in this corner. We've got our fuel lines coming from right there. We've also got our new battery cable shortened up and ready to go. Also went ahead and put in our sway bar end links right here. we've skipped ahead yet again, and we're just gonna recap everything that has happened. So we've got the bed back on, we've got taillights back on. I can't even remember where we even left off with this thing. It's probably not even the same day. So the bed is bolted back down. We've got a lot of wiring pretty much done and temporarily together. We are T-minus on Eastern time about, I would say, 30-40 minutes of the new year. So as long as I start this thing up and everything is good, we are going to meet our deadline of this thing rolling out of the shop by the end of 2023. That was the entire goal. So again, if some stuff is temporary, it's really just to meet my goal of this thing be able to move in and out of the shop under its own power with as much work done as possible. So we've got our front bumper on, we've got fog lights in it, we've got working fog lights, we've got our headlights in. Headlight wiring's not completely done, but we do have our marker light wiring done. I mean, all the rest of the wiring is kind of ready to go. By no means is it ready to test drive, but should be more than ready to pull outside, idle a little bit. Does not have coolant in it. We still need to do a hot retorque on the cylinder head that we have not done yet. But just a lot of miscellaneous odds and ends. AirDog is wired up to the factory way, basically, with the key. So we're using that key signal for the AirDog. Boom, boom, boom. And again, we've got a little bit of wiring left underneath there to tie into some of the fans for the key on power. But other than that, I mean, this thing is looking almost tripped over the old Milwaukee vacuum. I would say we are a solid 95%. So we're gonna fire this thing up, make sure it's not like dumping fluid out of anything. I've tried to go over every nut and bolt and fluid and line and everything. I've tried to just double check all of that stuff, just because if you've been following, this thing has been completely pretty much apart from top to bottom. So I think that's pretty much it. We're missing some hardware here. I mean, again, this is only phase one, boys. I'm honestly, I'm super nervous. It's been a day. I'm not even gonna lie, but I am still overly excited to see this thing outside of the shop. Like I think that will just put me over the edge. We've had some setbacks along the way today, just kind of like cruising through everything, but not gonna let it get me down. It's all good in the hood. Because the Shorty's about to, I mean, hopefully, I mean, we did bleed the brakes. Brakes should be good. Transmission should go in and out of gear, no problem. But we're gonna find out here very shortly. So let's bring 2023 to a close with the Shorty outside, boys. All right, we have got gears, we've got brakes, we've got running. It's now time to pull it outside. Oh boy, here we go. you have it. We did meet our deadline of getting the Shorty in and out of the shop under its own power for the most part before the end of 23, and that was really my major accomplishment. We've had this truck a year. It is, like I said in the beginning, it's been a journey, but I am honestly to the moon about this build, about this truck. It is far from over, and again, I apologize that it seems like we had skipped around a ton and you guys didn't see like every single little detail finished and completed in a schedule that I usually like to portray. Like normally I try to compartmentalize things and you know, we're gonna do this project, we're gonna get it done, and then we're gonna move on to the next video. And this thing was just so different in the fact that it was done after hours, late through the night, just me, myself, and I. It was kind of like a personal challenge with this truck, every turn, every step, and it all just ended up being this one big massive project that I wasn't able to just like stay on one thing, complete it, and then move on. It all just kind of meshed together in a way that I had to bounce around to get it done. So from here on out, it'll be a little bit more streamlined because there is still a ton to do and a ton to upgrade that I would like to see done and use the truck. We've got a lot of stuff planned, transmission. So this is real, it's almost like getting the base truck back to where I kind of wanted it to be. So I'm super excited for what this truck is gonna do, and we're gonna bring this truck all over 2024 and do just a bunch of really cool stuff with it. So Mini 05 is back. Some of the quick details that I didn't show you guys that were completed is our batteries here in the back. I know it's a little dark, but we've got that all wrapped up. So that's done, and again, it's just the little details that kill a lot of time but make it all worthwhile. And one thing that I really wanted to accomplish with this truck was cleaning up the entire side of the fenders. You can see we've got our wiper cowl panel back on, and as you can see, this look over here, there is absolutely nothing. No wires, and that is the way that I wanted it. It's as minimal as you can realistically go on the wire side of things. So I still have a lot that I want to do and accomplish and tweak and change, but I'm super pumped with that huge part of this project. I don't know about you guys, but the way that this front end turned out came out so killer. I was kind of up in the air with going with the Laramie chrome section right here, but with the polished intercooler, with the chrome in the headlights and stuff like that, I am in love with the way that the front of this truck looks. I think it just talks some major crap. And again, I don't think we even talked about the front end going back on together and all that stuff. I'm so excited about this truck. Like this is exactly what I had envisioned in my head. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys had a great end of 2023 and just kill it. Just kill it, crush it in 2024, guys. Just make some big goals, and you're not gonna get there quickly. It's going to take just chipping away little by little by little. It's winning the battles every day that are going to amount to looking back at 2024 and it being just an epic year for you guys. So I know there's probably a lot of big picture things, but it's the small wins every single day that are gonna add up to that big win. So anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next video. See ya.